Okay, welcome to March's meditation on anxiety. I'm Molly McCandless. I thought with all that's going on in the world right now, it might be a great energy to release. I think we've done this before, but it's been quite a while. And it's interesting, when I was just setting the energy prior to this meditation, I can already feel some of the anxiety coming in. So, hopefully you can release some of that tonight. So the energy on the planet and, at home and abroad right now, with the government, the climate, the war, everything is pretty uncomfortable. And it's probably not going to change anytime soon. So being able to release some of this energy and being able to get neutral to what is going on, so that your, pain pictures aren't quite so lit up, which causes the anxiety. So tonight we're going to work on releasing anxiety and see if we can get you back to feeling some calmness and a sense of internal peace. You could actually even think about an intention right now for what you want to get out of this meditation. Maybe you want to release some type of anxiety, or perhaps where you hold anxiety in your body. You can feel it kind of creep in when you're getting lit up in a space. And so maybe it's being able to clear some pictures out of that space that get triggered when you feel that anxiety coming in. So I always start with a basic grounding meditation, and then we'll get into specific energies to clear. So as most of you know, this is an active meditation. So I'll walk you through all the steps, steps of looking or seeing or sensing energies to be released. I don't think anybody is new to the call, but for anybody that might listen to this on YouTube, just follow along. If you don't understand what I'm asking you to create, that's okay, because you'll still get a benefit from being on the call or in the class. You can listen to the replay, and hopefully that'll make more sense if you're new to these techniques. If you have any questions, I'll stay on afterwards. So let's get started. Go ahead and close your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths and relax. It's really best if you're sitting upright with your legs uncrossed, your back straight, your feet about hips width apart, chin level. That way you won't doze off or fall asleep. For those of you who have a current grounding cord, go ahead and release it. And a grounding cord is a way that connects your energy or your physical body to the planet, and your spiritual body to your physical body. And it's just a line of connection you make from the base of your spine, kind of in the area where your root chakra is located. And it's from that point that you want to make a line of connection, a hollow tube, a giant tree trunk, any imagery that you would like to create, because this is mental imaging that connects your root chakra at the base of your spine to the center of the planet. If you make it open and hollow, that's actually better, so that there's a vehicle to release energies with more ease. So imagine then making that line of connection from the base of your spine, like a hollow tube that goes down through the layers of the planet. Don't overthink it. When it gets to the crystalline core, it plugs in. And the second your grounding cord plugs into the planet, it starts to work with gravity to actually help suction or pull some of the energies you're choosing to release tonight. Pulls it out of your body, out of your aura, pulls it all the way down the grounding cord into the center of the planet, where that energy gets recycled. And to make this grounding cord even more powerful, if you can imagine expanding it out to at least encompass your hips, that will give you a lot more space and volume to be able to release some energies that you're going to look at. And as you make that grounding cord, you might even start to feel a little bit of a tug on your body. That's gravity pulling the energy, already kind of pulling some energy out of your body. It's not just pulling any energy. It's just foreign energy, meaning, energy that's not yours, maybe energy that you want to release. So One other thing I'd like you to do is imagine that you can kind of pull your energy back in around you as well. And what I mean is your aura as you go through the day kind of it gets pretty expanded because um, as you move through your day, your aura, unless you're very conscious of keeping it in around you, it'll just expand into areas where you have been, or even in your home. If you're in your home, it gets really expanded. So see if you can scoop or pull your energy, your aura back in around you to about 2 feet on all sides. And one more thing, if you can also try and focus your attention behind your eyes in the center of your head. It's if you imagine you drew a line from your left ear through to your right and your third eye through the back of your head, where those lines intersect is the center of your head. And you just kind of bring your focus of attention out of those lower body chakras. So from the solar plexus down, and just imagine that you can pull some of that energy up into the center of your head. And what that does, it helps you to find more neutrality, keeps you out of those lower body emotional chakras that help us to get so lit up, especially when there's something that causes some anxiety. So see if you can focus your attention behind your eyes in the center of your head. And anytime you feel like you're going into some pretty heavy emotions, if you can imagine bringing your awareness into the center of your head, it's really helpful. Then you're not so affected by what's going on around you. All right, we'll just start by doing a kind of a flush of energies that are in your space before we actually get on to releasing anxiety. So focus in on your body and where you may be holding stress. Or you can just start at the top of your head and imagine if stress could release out of your body, say like sand flowing from an hourglass from the top down. Imagine that stress is flowing like those grains of sand out of your body, down the grounding cord, into the center of the planet where that energy gets recycled. And look for and sense if you have any energy that you're holding on to of around problems. And you might get a sense or a texture or just a knowingness of where or whose problems you might be holding on to. They may not even be yours. So wherever that energy is in your space, release it. If you have a lot of demands in your space, you might want to check to see where you're holding those demands, or maybe even the percentage of demands you're holding on to. There's a lot of you have a lot going on, so there's going to be demands in your space. If they're demands you put on yourself or others put on you, it doesn't matter. Just release them down the grounding cord. If you're holding on to any heavy energies like sadness, release that out of your space. Any physical or emotional pain you might be sitting in, make sure that you kind of sense where you're holding that. Could be in a chakra, heart chakra, solar plexus. It could be anywhere. Intuit that where that energy is in your space and let it flow all the way down the grounding cord into the center of the planet. And then any unspoken words you didn't get to say today. So imagine those unspoken words flow out of your space, or more specifically out of your throat chakra. Allow that to release down your grounding cord. Okay. In order to collect up your energy that's been left out in the world, because everywhere you go, you leave a little bit behind, even through electronic communication. So above your head, about 6 inches, create the mental image of a large, warm, golden sun. And imagine that sun can magnetize your energy back to you. It can come back as just a knowingness. You could see it as a vapor. Think about where you've been over the last couple of days, and imagine that your energy can flow. It's just your energy flows back into that sun above your head. And think about where it is 360. It's not just going to be out in front of you. Remember, it could be on the left, the right, behind you, in front of you. So bring as much energy back into that sun as you can. That's your vital life force energy. And when you've collected up your energy in that sun, bring that sun in through the top of your head and fill your body in with all that wonderful energy. Make sure it saturates your entire body from the tips of your toes, your legs, your torso, your cells and organs, to your fingertips, to the top of your head. And as a reminder, this is how you get your body into present time, releasing and collecting your energy back up into present time. All right, let's get started on releasing anxiety. You've all been in this meditation before and you know how the tool works, but I'll just do a basic overview in case anybody forgets. You're going to be looking at energy on your very own visual of a private movie screen or viewing screen. So in order to be able to read energy, you need a place to view it. So about maybe 12 inches out in front of your head, you create the image of a white blank screen, reading screen, viewing screen, like what a movie screen or a computer screen would look like. If it's white, it's better because it's easier to see energy on something that's white. That screen can have a border. Create it how you'd like to. And from the base of that screen, you're going to plug that or hold it in place with its own grounding cord or hollow tube. So from the base of that screen, imagine a hollow tube plugs into the base of the screen and goes down through the layers of the planet, plugs into the crystalline core. And as a reminder, the reason why you the benefit of using a screen to look at images, mental images, is that it gives you some distance from just releasing energies out of your physical body. You get some neutrality when you can look at it out in front of yourself instead of just feeling and sensing the energies within your body. So the screen is the vehicle where you're going to create a symbol to look at the energy that you're holding on to around anxiety. So imagine on that screen that you created out in front of you, you can create a mental image of a clear bubble. Right in the middle of that screen, create the image of a clear bubble. And to the base of that bubble, you're going to give that a grounding cord as well. So imagine from the base of the bubble, you have a hollow tube that goes down through the layers of the planet and plugs into the crystalline core. And the reason why you need to ground that bubble is not only to keep it in place, but just like your body, you're going to be clearing energies out of this bubble that have to do with anxiety. That bubble represents you in present time. So whatever you're working on the screen out in front of you actually translates to releasing energy out of your physical body. So in order to do that, just like on your physical body, it needs a grounding cord or a vehicle to release. So whenever you have a grounding cord on anything, gravity works with that grounding cord so that whatever energies you see in this bubble, you're going to allow gravity to pull it out down that grounding cord into the center of the planet where that energy gets recycled. All right, so I want you to postulate or have the thought that that bubble, that clear bubble you just created on your screen, holds the energy of anxiety in your space. Well, your space, your body, your aura. So if you imagine that some of that energy that you're holding on to starts to illuminate in that bubble, you'll probably start to see some darker textures and colors. And that's foreign energy. That's energy that you really don't want in there. So if you look at that bubble and you see darker textures, colors, and you think, ew, I don't like that. That doesn't look like it belongs or is mine. That's foreign energy that you're going to release. So from a place of neutrality in the center of your head, look at that bubble. What do you see? All you have to do to allow it to start to release is say hello to it. So silently inside yourself or aloud, you can say, hello, energy, I see you, and I'm going to release you down the grounding cord. So allow any darker textures or colors to flow out and down the grounding cord. And as you look at this bubble, because remember that represents you and anxiety in your space, if you start to feel anxiety or tension in your physical body, you have a grounding cord on your body. So you can pause for a moment, focus in on where you're getting activated in a pain picture or whatever's lighting up for you, and release it off of your physical body as well as on the screen out in front of you. All right, we're going to look for some specific energies now. So I'll call out these energies, I'll mention them to you, and I would like you to look in that bubble. And as I mention an energy vibration, you may see darker textures or colors kind of pop up in that space. If there's a lot, then you'll know that it's holding a lot of energy around that vibration. So you can just release it down the grounding cord the same way you just did by just saying hello to it. The first energy to look for in that bubble is the energy of responsibility. Do you tend to hold on to responsibility for other people, or are you feeling responsible for the planet or the people in Ukraine? So wherever, if you're looking for that energy of responsibility, and some of that energy may cause anxiety, release it. You know, other people will put energies into our space, or will maybe as a spirit agree to hold on to responsibility for other people's stuff, their problems, whatever they're going through. And that really can cause a lot of anxiety in your space, especially because it's not yours. So you don't even know what to do with it. And you can't fix somebody else's stuff because it's not yours. So be really aware when you go into responsibility for someone else, and then make that decision. No, I'm not going to do that. Like, really be conscious of it. And then whenever you go into that energy of responsibility, if it's not something you have to be responsible for, say like your family, but it's a friend or somebody else's problem, make that choice. I'm not going to hold on to this, and then release it down your grounding cord. Okay, excuse me. Look for the energy in this bubble, for the energy of fear. And the reason why I bring up fear is, well, that can cause anxiety, but fear is also a survival energy. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now that can cause fear or survival energy, and we'll just say the word war. Your past life pictures of actually maybe being in a war, or a soldier, or having a family member in another life who passed from being in the war. And look at all these energies are held in your cells and organs. They may be getting triggered. So if you are sitting in fear or survival, look at that illuminated in the bubble and release it. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit faster through some of these next energy vibrations, and you can always go back and listen to this again if you'd like. Look for any energy around depression. You see depression in your bubble, release it. Okay, look in that bubble for any anger. Maybe you're holding on to anger around a situation. Maybe it's just anger that you've held on to for a long time, and that can create some anxiety. So if you see anger in the space, release it. Okay, look for any energy in this bubble that has to do with failure energy. We've all done stuff where we feel like we failed, but we don't hold on to that. Failure is just an energy, like success is an energy. You just want to make sure that it's that you release any energy around that, because that will definitely cause some anxiety. All right, look in that bubble for resistance. What are you resisting? Are you resisting change? Remember, without change, there's no growth. And if you can stay present and grounded, which is what we cover in the very beginning of like releasing and replenishing, that will help you through the changes. But it's if you're not allowing change to happen, then you may be more uncomfortable because circumstances may force you to change. So being balanced and grounded and will help you to get out of resistance to some of the change that's happening on the planet, and maybe for you personally. Okay, look for any energy around control. Are you just trying to control your life so that you can manage things? Or are there people around you trying to control you? Control is about not having trust and faith. So again, going back to trying to stay balanced and grounded through grounding and releasing and replenishing. So look for any energy around control and release it. All right, and finally, and there might be other energies that you need to release, but we'll have to kind of start to wrap this up. But if you think about what causes you the most anxiety in your life, think about what that is for you personally, and postulate that whatever that energy is or that situation that causes you the most anxiety, have it illuminate in that bubble. And try and stay neutral, because you might be really lit up in your body. You may know when you're going into anxiety because you could feel it start to activate in your physical body. So postulate that whatever sets you off down that rabbit hole of anxiety illuminates in that bubble. Start to release it down the bubble. And then you can always focus back on your physical body and think of where you sense it. It could be in a chakra, it just could be in a space within your body. So I'll give you a moment just to go back and forth if you need to. Okay, this is where I feel it in my physical body. I'm going to release it down my personal grounding cord. And I'm going to go back and look on my screen at my bubble and release it out of the bubble. So I'll give you about a minute to look at that energy. Okay, well done. Remember, it's important to replenish any space with a high vibrational energy. Once you release, you always need to follow it with replacing with a higher vibration. So in order to do this on your screen, imagine above the bubble on your screen, you create a large, warm, golden sun. And go ahead, first of all, and just fill that bubble in with that golden sun. So you can just imagine bringing that sun in through the top of the bubble, filling all the spaces in that bubble up with gold. And then let's create another golden sun above the bubble on the screen. And let's add some specific energies into that bubble that you would like to reset that space at. Remember, that represents you. So you're kind of resetting your own energy. And you can see these specific energies go into the sun as words written in gold, thoughts, postulates. So in that sun above the bubble, start to add some energies that you would like to reset. You would like to reset yourself to. It could be grace and ease, peace and calm, serenity, gratitude, joy, groundedness, whatever feels right to you. So go ahead and add some of those energies into that sun. And then bring that sun into the top of the bubble. Allow all those energies to saturate into that bubble. And when you're done, you just take the image of a pin and pop that bubble to disperse the energy. And then you need to fill, then you just kind of let the image of the screen go. You don't have to look at it, but anytime you want to look at it, you can either recreate it. My screen is always there. Sometimes, if I'm just walking around, I'm not going to look at it, but the second I want to read some energy, I know my screen is right there. So just let the visual of the screen go. And now above your own head, create the image of a large, warm, golden sun. And I want you to start putting some postulates in that sun that resonate with you. So you fill that symbol in on the screen that represents you, but let's fill the physical body in anyway. So think about, maybe you want to still add some calmness and grace and ease, but it is a new moon. So maybe you want to add some other energies for some things that you would like to experience for the month ahead. So whatever that is to you, maybe you want to have some enthusiasm, maybe having some neutrality is good, success and certainty. So I'll give you a moment to just fill that sun up with a bunch of energies that you want for your month ahead. And when you're ready, you can bring that sun in through the top of your head and allow that to start saturating all your cells and organs. And imagine allowing some of that energy to run down through your grounding cord into the center of the planet so that you're grounded in those energy vibrations from the center of the planet to the top of your head to your fingertips. Good job, everyone. So when you're ready, you can take a couple of deep breaths and come out of trance. Thank you all for being here tonight. I wish you the best month ahead. Good night.